Hello, my beautiful goddesses. Welcome to another video. I am very happy and excited to have you here today, where we're going to be discussing a very important topic, and it's about how to overcome self-doubt and increase your confidence as a high-achieving woman. If you're very ambitious, if you are very driven, and you always want more out of life, then this video is for you. I am Olga Nelson, known as Polkis. I'm a certified life coach, and in this channel is where I share a lot about personal development, money, the energetics of money. There's videos also in Spanish, and if that's your jam, I invite you to subscribe and send this video to a friend. Let's talk about self-doubt and confidence. Overall, first, what is self-doubt? How does it show up? And also, what is confidence, right? Recently, I did a presentation in person in one of the networking events here in Houston. I am currently living in Houston, Texas. And every Monday, there were these networking events for entrepreneurs, for business owners, and I was a guest speaker to lead a training about self-confidence and self-doubt. And in that training, I mentioned that self-confidence is not a starting point. Confidence is the result of bold action, taking aligned action, and just doing something. And as a result, you're going to get confident. You're going to be confident. But if you're waiting to have confidence or to feel confident to start something new, to start a new project, to reach to that client, to do anything out of your comfort zone, then you might as well get comfortable and be waiting, because self-confidence is not a starting point. It is a result of repetitive action, of not just action, bold action and aligned action towards your goal, towards something that you want to achieve or obtain, whatever it is in business or in your personal life, in your romantic life, whatever. But that's basically the definition, more in depth about confidence. So whenever I do these trainings or I talk to clients and they're like, oh, I'm not confident, I'm gonna wait to start until I feel good, until I feel worthy of it. And it's like, no, confidence, it's the result of you doing things, of you showing up, of you learning new skills, of you doing something repetitively, that then it becomes like a normal, it becomes like a no big deal. Then you feel confident on doing something. And self-doubt is basically very self-explanatory in the word, where you are going to doubt yourself about your capabilities, your skill sets, your talents, your gifts to do something or accomplish something, right? It's always that little voice in your head, like the creator brain, telling you that you're not worthy, that you're not capable, that you're not qualified enough. And these are two things that go hand in hand, and it shows up a lot in high achieving women, because if you're a high achieving woman, very driven, very motivated, very ambitious, you're gonna find these two things, or these two little buddies on the road, right? You're gonna find a lot of self-doubt when opportunities or new projects or new clients or new levels of success reach you. And also, you're gonna lack some confidence in some areas, right? Maybe because you don't have the right expertise yet, or you don't know how to do something, or maybe you're called to do something bigger and you don't feel confident because you never experienced that, because your nervous system never experienced being paid that much, or leading that big group, or having certain amount of people in your team, etc., etc. So these two things, we have to understand them, know how they work, and know how we can overcome them. So when they show up, we can always execute and say, you're not gonna get in my way. We're gonna move only forward. Some of the triggers or things that show up when you lack confidence, or when you are having a little more self-doubt than usual, are perfectionism. Who here tries to be a perfectionist? Click like, send it to a friend, be like, girl, you're the perfectionist. Usually high achieving women or driven women, we tend to be a little perfectionist. Like, we want to have it perfect, the perfect product, the perfect training, the perfect website or social media or post or reel, right? How many times have you not posted that post or reel just because it's not perfect, it's missing something? No, I feel that confidence dies when we are trying to be perfectionist, when we're trying to do a perfect product. Yes, there is room for growth, and we can always accomplish and put out there a perfect product, but yet There is no such thing as perfect. So I always say, as long as you pass with an 80%, which is a B, or 90%, which is an A minus, we're doing great. We're doing it. The thing is just doing it, and you will figure it out in a way. You will get better in the way. You will figure other ways to make it better. But the number one thing that we need to be aware on how this is showing up is when you're trying to be perfectionist, right? Like, this is going to leave you in analysis paralysis, because you're going to try to make this thing perfect, or this product or email, whatever it is, and you're never going to finish. And therefore, because you're trying to be perfect, you procrastinate. So one thing brings the other. Number two is imposter syndrome. Oh my God. I made a whole online workshop about imposter syndrome last month. I'll make it available for you to purchase so you can watch. And this was amazing. It was like an hour and a half. It was great. I went in depth about imposter syndrome and how this shows up in your business, in your personal life, in your overall life, and how to notice it, how to overcome it. And I gave practical steps to really, in the moment, switch and do the reframe and activities to like get moving out of the imposter syndrome. This is something that many women feel, if not all of them, especially if you're putting yourself out there, creating a brand or making a business. Imposter syndrome is going to show up. It has shown up in my life. I share my story, and it always does, especially if you're successful and you are trying to create more success in whatever area of your life or whatever success means to you. Imposter syndrome is going always to show up in some areas. So we got to be aware of that. I am not a fan of the word imposter syndrome. I think it has a bad connotation. Like, it sounds worse than it is. So once we understand imposter syndrome, how it shows up, where does it show up, how does it feel in your body, then we can work with it to overcome it, right? Also, how other trigger shows when you have self-doubt or low confidence is fear of success or fear of failure, or both. Right? Who has fear of success? And if you're like, well, I'm not fear of success. Of course, no. I want success. I want the wealth. I want everything. Well, maybe you haven't asked this question. Many times it's not about the answer. Many times it's asking the right question, because it's like, well, I never thought about that question. I never thought about it that way. So when you ask yourself, am I being fearful of success? What does this mean? I'll be doing another online workshop for next month about fear of success and also fear of failure. And this is going to be amazing. So always be aware of the calendar. I'll leave the link here below of the online trainings that I am doing every month. These are online workshops, and they're just like no commitment. You just show up, you get your ticket, you show up and you do the training, and I'll give material there. But fear of success, this also paralyzes us. This is not going to let us move forward. This is going to create self-doubt in us. And because we have self-doubt, we don't feel confident because we never done it. Remember, the confidence is the result of actions. So when we have fear of failure, we're just going to paralyze. We're going to be in the, freeze mode. We don't want to act because we don't want to fail. We want to protect ourselves. This is just the brain doing its job as well. Fear just tries to protect us. It's like a safe mechanism to keep us safe, not doing anything new. But if we don't do anything new and if we don't fail at something, how we're gonna know what's the right thing? How can we make it better? And also fear of success can show us, if I get many clients, am I gonna able to provide services for all the clients? Maybe successful is growing your company, opening another location. And then fear of success can show us like, oh my God, can I handle another team in another location? Or if I have all this money in success, can I manage it? Do I know how to invest? Do I know how to manage money? So as I say, sometimes it's not about the answer. Sometimes it's about the right question. So these are some of the ways that low esteem or self-doubt and confidence is going to show up. So self-doubt actually really impacts your personal and professional life because this is going to block you from opportunities. Because imagine if this opportunity shows up at a networking event, or maybe you go to an event, or a client walks into your business or sends you an email and they want to do a partnership with you, but you don't have confidence because you've never done it before, or you're having self-doubt, this is going to block you from opportunities, right? Because the brain is going to be telling you that you never done that and that opportunity is scary, therefore is danger. When we are not confident and we have self-doubt, it's less likely that we jump into new opportunities or new ventures. So this is going to limit you in your professional and personal life. Also, having low confidence and self-doubt reduces the productivity, because if we are fearful of success or failing, we're not gonna try to improve our productivity, because there is no gain in working if we know that the end result is gonna fail. Or if I work too much and if I boss myself up a little too hard, I'm gonna create or attract all these clients and I don't know what I'm gonna do with them. So that's fear of success. So maybe that increases your productivity because you're hopeless, right? When you have self-doubt, you don't want to perform. So that's low productivity. And also because due of these, you're going to feel a little stress or maybe anxiety because you don't know what's coming up in the future. You don't know if this project is going to work. And all of these things, right? Anxiety is worrying about the future because we don't know what the outcome is going to be. And maybe we feel a little depression because our project or last project didn't work. And I don't feel confident because I never tried it. So you can see already how all of this is going to impact our professional and personal life, and is going to stop us to actually achieving the things that we want to do and create the impact that we want to actually provide to the people or the woman or the people you serve. So number one strategy to overcome self-doubt and increase your confidence is being aware. Everything, ladies, starts with awareness. Awareness is the number one thing, and also acknowledging where you are wrong and admitting that maybe you might be wrong. It's just confident. It's just awareness, right? If you did something wrong, you don't want to be in the victim mode, blaming everybody but me. Change happens when you are conscious, when you are aware. That's the number one thing. So as long as we know that I feel self-doubt right now, because I'm procrastinating, because I feel imposter syndrome, because I'm trying to be perfect or try to make this perfect, I'm lowering my productivity. Hey, maybe I'm having self-doubt and I'm not being confident about it. So see, is the awareness. You can see the triggers, you can see how it's showing up, you can learn how it feels in your body. Maybe you feel some tightness in your chest or your throat or your head hurts, however it shows up in you. But it's acknowledging and accepting that you're feeling that and that it's okay, right? We don't want to blame ourselves either or talk ourselves down because we're not confident. It's realizing being aware, but with no judgment. Sometimes we are our biggest judge and we don't want to do that anymore. Cafecito. Number two, identify your triggers. I have my notes right here, ladies. So identifying the trigger is just being aware of the situations or people or circumstances that are going to cause you to feel self-doubt or not as confident. So maybe there's new opportunities, or you met a new friend that invites you to do this project, or maybe is comparing yourself to another person in your same industry. And of course, this is going to create a little self-doubt, because you're gonna be asking yourself and comparing yourself. In comparison is the killer of dreams. That's where all your dreams are gonna die, because you're comparing your chapter 1 to someone's chapter 110. There is a big gap right there. So of course, because that person has been doing it for longer, they're gonna be confident about it. So see, and maybe you're in your starter phase and you don't feel as confident because you haven't done it for that long. Be aware of that, identify the situations, the places, the people that are going to trigger you that self-doubt. And just aware, not judging, okay? And once you see these triggers coming up about having self-doubt and low confidence, is reframing those negative thoughts. In coaching, I do a lot of reframing, and I love this because it's kind of like changing the negative thought, the negative reaction that we have in our brain, those negative words that block us, right? Because we say, oh, I'm not confident, I'm gonna fail. See how limiting that expression is, instead of reframing that and saying, I don't feel confident right now, I'm aware, and I might succeed if I try this. Or how can I succeed instead of failing? You see the reframe, the change, the how opens possibilities for the brain to start exploring new ways or possibilities, new routes for you to make it succeed. How can I make it successful? Instead of saying, I'm gonna fail. It failed already. Who has been there? Especially when I switched my career. Oh my God, ladies. When I switched my career from being a mechanical engineer to being a life coach, and I was a stay-at-home mom, and I'm like, oh my God, how am I gonna do this with the baby? Who's gonna take care of the baby? She's only 1.5 years. Am I gonna have enough time? I was running like a chicken with no head, and my husband is like, why are you frustrated? Like, why are you doing this? I was having so much self-doubt, and thankfully I signed up, I jumped, and the more I did it, the more confident I became in this life coach industry. Thankfully, I had to have practice clients before I graduated, and I made a post, and like 6 girls signed up, and I was freaking out. I did not know how I was gonna do it, but having resilience, ladies. Being a high achieving woman is having resilience. And I noticed what triggered it, and I still acted, and the more I showed up, the opportunity showed up. I took on the opportunity, and because I took on the opportunity, I practiced more, and I practiced, and now I can say that I'm more confident from day one. So see, with time, you're gonna get confident. With time, you're gonna know how being successful in a project feels like. So when you have self-doubt, you can always go back to those moments where you succeed, where you practice, where you were confident, and you can always reflect on those moments and reframe the bad thoughts. And also, ladies, we have to set realistic goals. I'm all about dreaming big. Since I was young, I have a little sign on my room that say dream big. I always dream big. And that can be a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I dream big, I make things happen. I'm not afraid of dreaming big and doing big things. And at the same time, because I'm very motivated and very ambitious and dreamed a little too big, trying to eat the world. And I have to control myself and set realistic goals, understanding that everything has a process. And I have learned this the hard way, because I have transformed and shifted Polki's brand in many different things, right? I don't know if you follow me from before, when I was doing like the keto and low carb recipes. I launched these hoodies, these recipe notepads, the aprons. I also had another phone cleaning business going on. We are real estate investors with my husband. So we try to do a lot, and sometimes setting unrealistic goals. And if they don't happen in the time frame you put, you're gonna feel self-doubt, because if they don't happen, you're gonna have proof that you failed. Sometimes can be counterproductive. So if you're starting, I would say set realistic goals, because if you set a small goal from here to 30 days or 2 weeks or just for today, and you accomplish it, you can build self-confidence little by little. But if I set a goal of coaching, 10,000 clients by the end of the year, let's be honest, it's just one me, and I'm gonna feel maybe a little pressure, and I'm gonna try to be a perfectionist, and maybe I'm gonna be fearful of success or fearful of failure. But if I only cut it to 100, that's more realistic. Let's cut it to 50. That's even more realistic. And if I do it in 3 months, guess what? I can do the other 50 in the other 3 months. So setting realistic goals is definitely going to increase your confidence. Everything has a process. Even the best doctors, the best authors, they started from zero. They started maybe being not paid or underpaid, and everything has a growth process. This is a reminder for myself too, because I sometimes want to do everything at once and dream too big, and I boss up a little too hard. Hi, Olguita. And also, I want you to start celebrating your small wins. This is something that I always do with my clients. We have celebration sessions. There is sessions where my clients have many good things going on in their life, and I just want to celebrate Celebrate with them 3 things that are going well and just acknowledging them that they're showing up for their life and they're doing great things. So always celebrate good things because celebration feels good, right? Whenever they celebrate you because you graduated or you became something or you, I don't know, it's your birthday, it feels good. So celebrate your small wins, big or small. You got to celebrate them because that's going to create that motivating factor for you to do more, do a little more, because you're going to celebrate. So always acknowledge yourself first. So ladies, I have a couple of announcements that I wanted to talk to you about. First, I want to mention the online workshops that I'm leading every month. If you want to try group coaching, maybe you never experienced life coaching before or group coaching, I will invite you to join one of these online workshops. The one that we have coming up next Wednesday, it's about how to manage motherhood and entrepreneurship. So if you're a new mom or you are expecting mom that it's gonna have her baby soon and you want to open a business, have a running business, and you're freaking out because you don't know how you're gonna manage it, I invite you to join this online workshop. And I will be posting also the upcoming workshops about fear. And I think I'm going to add one about energetics of money as well, because it's very important. And I invite you to check the calendar. Those online workshops are group setting and also they're online. So you can just, log in, and they're very affordable. So you can just check up what's group coaching. And also I have private packages for life coaching. So it's 101. The packages include a lot of pre-recorded sessions, materials, handouts for you to start doing. So a lot of life coaching exercises for you to start your transformation as the moment as you sign up. And also those include private sessions with me. You can either choose 4 weeks or 6 weeks or 12 weeks. And that will also be included in the package. Also have individual sessions if you don't want to commit to like a long-term coaching package, or you don't want to do something in a group setting because you want to do something more personalized, but no commitment, So I invite you to get a single coaching session. Those are also available. I will leave my website below, all the links so you can check them out. Ladies, and also we have a retreat going on in September here in Houston, Texas. I will post the Instagram page and also the website page for you to check. This retreat is going to be amazing. I have partnered up with another amazing, great holistic woman that we're gonna be doing a lot of activities. You can check the website, but let me say something briefly here. We have ice baths. We have professional coaching by me. We also have a workshop about art and painting for you to express your inner creativity, your inner wisdom, and you can express it through paint. We're gonna have mornings, yoga in the mornings. This is going to be 2 nights here in Houston, Texas, and the ranch where we're gonna have it, it's insane. 15 acres. Safari vibes. Literally, there's animals there. It has its private lake. We can do kayaking. Everything is included, lodging, your bed, also all the meals and all the materials for activities. So we're gonna be doing great. It's September 13th to the 15th. If you wanna reserve your spot, we have it on an early bird price. So take advantage of that. And I'll leave it here at www.awakeher.com. Awake the goddess that is inside of you. So that was it for today, ladies. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next training.